Do it with Chomp.
Oh, hey, have you ever wondered if you can blend paint within a panel? I have too. I'm about to show you how to blend some black paint within one panel. So I'm not going to blend it into the door or blend it into the bumper cover or anything. I'm just going to be blending the paint on the front quarter panel. After I got finished painting, I screwed up the clear a little bit, and it was white and foggy underneath the clear, and it wouldn't dry out with the dryer or anything. So I sanded it down, and I'm just going to be touching it up and blending the black out and then respraying the whole thing with clear. So hang out and we'll see if we can't get this done. All right, thanks, ninjas.
I really couldn't find a good shot of what I actually did to the clear coat, but that's it right there. I mean, it was all foggy and nasty looking. So I sanded it down. I started with some probably 400, then I went up to 600, and then I took the gray sanding pad here and went around all the edges, because even though I'm not going to be doing a full solid coat of black, I am going to be doing re-clearing the entire panel. So you just sand that down as if you're doing it for the first time with that sanding pad. Make sure you put your wax and grease remover on there after you sand it. Blow all the dust off, wax and grease remover, wipe it down with a microfiber towel. And then here's me just dusting on that's a full mixture of the paint. That's just the paint as it comes. I'll show you. That's me doing it again, just to show you. Yeah, so just put a full solid coat over that area that you're touching up. And then what I did was I put equal parts paint and reducer. And that looks like paint there, but I actually dumped the reducer in the little measuring cup, and that's why it's black. I just dumped it in there after I got the paint out, but that's equal parts paint and reducer that I'm just mixing it together, so it's basically a watered down version of the paint. And there's me just kind of dusting, feathering it over I put it over where I touched it up already, and then I also started feathering it out, feathering the edges, and each time I put a coat on, I went a little bit farther. So as you can see here, I'm going pretty far with it. And once I felt like I got enough coverage, it's time to put the clear on. And I bought, by the way, Wholesale Auto Paints is where I bought my paint, and I highly recommend them. And this is just me mixing my clear coat. And I think it was a 3-to-1 mixture with the clear and reducer. And I put a little bit of thinner in there as well. Mix that up nice. Dump it through your filter. Get any kind of impurities out of it. Make sure you put on your protective gear. There's me throwing my mask on. You really do need to in this instance. And then there's me blowing it off. Before laying down any of the coats, I always blow it off, just in case there might be a little dust on there. And then I started spraying the clear over where I touched up, right there in the middle. I wanted to make sure I got a good solid coat of clear over that, because I needed to see what it looked like. And if there were any imperfections in it, I would have seen that through the clear. I needed to put the clear on there to see if I could see any imperfections in my sand job. So I sprayed clear over top of the area that I was touching up first. And then once it set and I was able to look at it, I went back and I just started spraying the clear on as if, I was clearing it for the first time. And that's that cheap silver Walmart gun there. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but it was fairly cheap. Settings, I talk about the settings in my other video, but I think PSI wise, I was between 35 and 40, almost wide open with the fan, turned, and the fluid was turned open 3 1/4 turns. And then, just start in one spot and work your way and do your overlaps. That was my first full coat. This will be my second. And this is going on like butter. I mean, it's really smooth, really satisfying to do this, and you can tell right now that spot that I touched up looks great. And that black there's no metallics in it whatsoever, so it just blended right out perfectly. And going over it, even with the thinned out black paint, the way I feathered it along the edges, it blends right in with the rest of the truck. And I didn't even paint the door or the bumper cover. I painted the hood and both of the front fenders. And then like I said, I screwed up that one spot. So yeah, there's me looking at it. Nice and clear, man. There's some dust in there. And this is me putting my third coat on. Just put a nice, good, solid coat on this time. I got some runs in it that I had to sand out later, but that's okay. It looks good. I'm glad I put this third coat on it, because I knew I was going to have to be buffing it. I knew I was going to have to wet sand it and buff it to get the dust out, so I would recommend doing that. But yeah, you know, that's pretty much the easy peasy lemon squeezy way to do this. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. Wholesale Auto Paints is where I got my paint. Thanks for watching.